So many of your colleagues on the campaign trail have been saying about you this week, and that is that you are unelectable. That has been quite the word when they talked about you this week. And in this poll, 29% of likely Iowa Republican caucus goers also found you the least electable of all the candidates. Why is that?
Well, maybe it's not true. I've been pretty electable. I was elected 12 times once people got to know me in my own congressional district. So I think that might be more propaganda than anything else. So we'll wait and see. We'll know a lot more about how the election goes tomorrow.
Being elected among folks that know you in a small district in Texas is somewhat of a less daunting task than across the country, and there is the feeling, and I'm sure you've heard your colleagues say, he's not electable, he's too far outside the mainstream, his views on foreign policy, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted you to respond again to that, but I want you to listen. You've been very tough on Newt Gingrich, calling him a serial hypocrite, et cetera, and he replied in kind, and I want you to take a listen to what he had to say.
I think as a protest, he's a very reasonable candidate. As a potential president, a person who thinks the United States was responsible for 9/11, a person who believes, who wrote in his newsletter that the World Trade Center bombing in '93 might have been a CIA plot, a person who believes it doesn't matter if the Iranians have a nuclear weapon. I'd rather just say, you look at Ron Paul's total record of systemic avoidance of reality, and you look at his newsletters, and then you look at his ads. His ads are about as accurate as his newsletters.
So, Congressman Paul, you have denounced these newsletters that he's talking about, but again, the idea that your views are outside the mainstream about 9/11 and so many other things. Your reaction?
Well, that's a gross distortion, and you could spend a long time trying to, dispute what he's saying, but it's gross distortion. But the bigger question is why are the rallies going so well for him? Why are the crowds getting bigger and bigger? Why is it that 70% of the American people want us to get out of Afghanistan? Why do about 85% of the people want us to rein in the Federal Reserve? Why do so many, especially conservative Republicans, want us to cut back, and nobody is offering any cuts? So I would say that I'm pretty mainstream. I think the people who are attacking me now are the ones who can't defend their records, and they've been all over the place. They've been flip-flopping, and they can't defend themselves, and they're having a little trouble finding any flip-flops on me, so they have to go and dig up and distort and demagogue issues. But if you look at the real issues that count, and I wish we would concentrate on that, and that is the foreign policy, the spending, the monetary policy, the personal liberties that I talk about all the time. And under with those conditions, this is where I get the support. And not only is it with Republicans, but these views are really, attractive to the independents and the Democrats. So the rallies, it is true. People say, oh, well, he's going to have some independents come in. Well, that's the name of the game. You get people, you bring coalitions together. You get the frustrated progressives, you get the independents, you get the Republicans who truly want spending cuts, and all of a sudden, I'm mainstream. So they're looking for things. They're struggling, and they're demagoguing the issue.